Our third fight of the night from Revel here in Atlantic City will be a good one. It's a catchweight fight. Chris Wade facing off against the Russian Ozzy Dugulubgov, and he comes by way of Hackensack, New Jersey. Now, out of New York City, tough fighter. How do you see this one going?
Okay, well, if you look at him, he's 5-0. He's got 4 decisions and then 1 submission. So I think he's a wrestler because most of the time decisions, you win by wrestling, take him down, and ground control. And then we've got, I'm not going to call him by his last name, I'm going to call him Ozzy, because his last name is way too hard to pronounce. He's a knockout artist, but he lost one time by way of submission. So I think he wants to try to keep this fight on the feet, and of course Wade is going to try to keep this fight on the ground.
Dugulubgov. Ozzy Dugulubgov taking on our guy Chris Wade. 3 rounds of action.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Ovation Hall. Do me a favor, Atlantic City, and let the world hear you out there. We welcome those of you that are streaming live around the world on the World Wide Web, and we say thank you to MajorWorld.com, the world's largest franchised used car dealer. Our next bout scheduled at a catch weight of 160 pounds. Making his way to the cage, please welcome Chris Wade.
Out of Lindenhurst, New York, Islip, New York, East Islip Kickboxing, this is Chris Wade, 161 pounds, 25 years of age, 5'9". As we said, this is a catchweight bout, and he is coming off a victory over Mike Madrano, 3-round decision back on January 25th. All right, Chris Wade brings a lot of fans, obviously, to the Atlantic City area. This will be a big fight for him. A perfect record. Does he keep it perfect tonight?
Yep, you know, and East is the kickboxing. That means it's a kickboxing academy. So that maybe is going to take away what I said just a minute ago, that he's a wrestler. But you never know, because kickboxing gyms have also great wrestlers coming there because it's mixed martial arts. But the striking, of course, is going to help him to set up a takedown if he wants to go for a takedown, because he knows that Dugulubgov,
nice.
Got it, you know, lost one time by way of submission. So I think that's going to be the game plan.
Chris Wade going through final preparations before he enters the cage here at World Series of Fighting 2. A great opportunity for a lot of the local fighters here in the tri-state area, as an organization like the World Series of Fighting comes to town and they give local kids an opportunity to be on the big stage.
And it's great, you know, you learn how to deal with pressure. We talked about it before, you know, it's all different once the eyeballs and once your family members and your friends are in the audience, because trust me, everybody knows better. You know, and the worst thing is for a fighter to lose and to care about that, because then you're going to go to... Chris Levin said it one time, really funny, after he lost against Anderson Silva. He said, I went to Starbucks and the guy behind the desk told me what I should have done in order to win.
And ladies and gentlemen, now making his way to the cage, Ozzy Dugulubgov.
So here he is, Ozzy D. 24 years of age, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 3-1 record, but 2 of those victories coming by way of KO. Trains in nearby Hackensack, New Jersey, and in the city. Team Henzo Gracie, so you know he's got some... You can mention Gracie and you automatically get credibility. Is that correct?
Exactly, you know, and that other win, he's got... This guy is a finisher, you know, he's got 2 knockouts and a submission victory, you know. Kind of you said it already. If he trains at Henzo's Academy, for sure, he knows everything. But I'm going to call him Ozzy, ladies and gentlemen, because otherwise it's going to be, if the fight's going to go really fast, I can't keep up with that name.
Can't get all those vowels and consonants in there. Last coming off a victory over Brian Nielsen, a round 1 TKO on April 14th of 2012. So Ozzy D has been a little bit out of the cage. We'll see how he responds under the bright lights here at Revel in Ovation Hall. Chris Wade looks ready. Chris Wade looks cut and fired up.
Yeah, let me see. I wonder here if Taylor Tate is going to get the reach advantage. Keeping the cool, that is what it's all about right now.
Boss, you've been there before. At this point, what are the trainers telling these guys? I mean, there's really nothing they can say other than hasn't been said in the gym.
You know, there's a few things I always work on. You don't want to overload them with advice because then they're going to go crazy. You You know, you want to only pick up the things that you worked on. You know, you watch tape of your opponent. Let's say he always throws the right straight from a certain angle. Then you would say at this moment again, remember that right straight, if you start throwing it, you know the counter, we worked on it, stuff like that.
Ozzy Dugulubgov is now inside the cage at the World Series of Fighting as we take a look at the tail of the tape. Ozzy, 24 years of age, 5'8", 160 pounds. Chris Wade checks in, 25 years of age, 5'9", 160 3/4 pounds. We send it inside the cage. Tim Hughes has the official introduction.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds at a catch weight, 160 pounds. Introducing first, fighting it from the blue side of the cage. This man is a state champion wrestler who brings with him an unblemished professional record of 5 wins with no losses. At 5 feet 9 inches tall, he weighed in at fight time at 160 1/2 pounds. Training at East Iceland Kickboxing, and here tonight from Iceland, New York, please welcome Chris Wade. His opponent tonight, fighting from the red corner, a freestyle fighter with a professional record of 3 wins and 1 loss, 2 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at an even 160 pounds. Training at Henzo Gracie Academy. Here tonight from New York City, New York, ladies and gentlemen, Ozzy Dugulubgov. And your referee once again for this contest is Dan Mergliata.
So here we go in a catchweight bout. Chris Wade, Ozzy Dugulubgov in the red corner, and we are underway from Atlantic City.
Is Chris Wade gonna go?
I always like to say this. We're going to find out.
Well, both these guys look to be in terrific condition, having no problem making the weight.
This is the feeling out for this. Oh, that is a powerful kick. Oh!
Chris Wade's going to think twice about now coming in, isn't he?
He's going to shoot. He wants to take him down because you do not want a kick like that to land. Look at that. Oh, nice.
Wow, Ozzy is fast. Quick on his feet, Chris Wade. State champion wrestler there, trying to keep Ozzy off with that front kick.
Ozzy being the southpaw, he throws with the back leg, power shots, inside leg. A lot of people in Orthodox Tech are not used to that. Look at that, how he counters.
Nice kick to the midsection coming from Chris Wade. Ozzy quickly fires back. Here, right, fighting southpaw. He's got that left hand loaded up, and it's the kicks so far early in round number 1 that are doing the damage.
I like that. He came with a cross and then a hook. I would go for his body with the right straight punch because if you're fighting a southpaw, it's lined up better. You know, the contact should be better. But then again, it works for the opponent the same. He has to go and throw his left hand to the body, followed up with the right hook to the head. Plus, the opponent can also, with his power leg, go inside low kicks. Here in the clinch, not going to be a big deal. Here. From Ozzy. Look at that.
No real advantage, and Wade breaks the clinch.
Yeah, Wade needs to weather this storm here because there's a lot of power coming out.
On the kick, the slip. You put so much power into those kicks, mean nothing. It's kind of tough to stay on your feet. Good combination coming from Ozzy.
Very nice takedown defense right away. He was ready for it. Peeled him up. Both underhook. You know, Ozzy's coming in a little too fast, I would say. Sometimes you're jamming yourself if you do that. So your punches can't travel. The longer they travel, the more power they have. And now he decides to take it to the ground. Why not? You better believe from this distance here, it's going to be very powerful. Strikes. Wade is doing a smart thing there. Well, I was trying to keep that foot on the hip. So at the moment, Ozzy's going to stop power shots. Keeps him submission.
Wade trying to control the head. He knows if Ozzy gets upright, he's going to rain down some heavy leather.
He has to watch out there, Wade. Fast, pull that right leg out. That's his goal. And if he can do that, he can go to side mount or even the mount position.
I'm near the 40. I'm near the 40 to go.
Once you have the mount, you want to sit on the chest. That will be always the best because there's not a lot of leverage for the person in the bottom stop popping the horse.
Big knee.
Look at the power he's got again. Look at this. Sick power. And again, that sick power needs a lot of oxygen, you know? So can he continue with punches like this in the second round?
Wade continues to come in. Brave man as Ozzy is loading up that left hand.
Wade doesn't care. Southpaw position himself. And back. Look at this, well timed, simple front kick at the moment. Ozzy was in the air.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to fly back.
Coming up on 40 seconds to go here on round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3 from Atlantic City. Chris Wade in the red trunks. Ozzy Dugulubgov in the white trunks.
Ozzy is recouping here.
That's
what I mean. He's closing the distance too fast. Every time he does it, he's jamming himself. A strike, of course, is the most powerful at the end of your reach, not in the beginning.
Final 10 seconds of round 1. Good first round action here from Atlantic City. And we will go to a second round.
Your ribs okay? Okay.
Let's take a look at some crazy kicks here. Look at this. Boom! Man. Now Wade is trying, but he misses. Gets back up right away. You don't want an animal like that on top. Beautifully well-timed knee there from Ozzy. And look at that upper body strength. Oh. You see, those moments are very dangerous. Because one of those, if you don't want them to connect, take them to the end of the fight.
Back up, Ozzy. Good. Good. All right, you ready, sir? You ready? Let's go, round 2, fight.
Here we go, round number 2 from Atlantic City and Rebels Ovation Hall alongside Bob Root and Todd Harris Alley. Chris Wade and Ozzy Dugulubgov here in a catchweight bout. First round, I think you might have to give the edge to Ozzy just because of the way he pushed the pace. But I'll tell you what, Chris Wade looked really strong as that round wore on.
That's it. You know, I think he wore him down. He weathered the storm, as they say. That big man.
Wade picking the perfect time to duck.
Can you imagine a kick like that landing?
He's hurt.
Oh, big power shot. But Wade is just coming forward. He knows if he presses the action, he makes it harder for Ozzy to strike because he's closing the distance.
Ozzy wanting to load up on that big left. They come together.
I mean, sitting ringside here, you hear the impact. It's so powerful.
Set him up, Chris.
It seems like he sets himself up for the third down because it's a big swing. There's no setups with Ozzy.
Well, you wonder now if Chris Wade's wrestling, high school wrestling champion, is going to come into play now.
We're going to find out, you know, but Ozzy's very, very strong and powerful. I think the full strength that he has, he might get out, but he might also get a little bit in trouble stamina-wise. We don't know.
Wade staying active.
Look at this. Kick him off. Nice. Right away goes to side mount. Passes both legs.
So side control goes the way of Ozzy Dugulubgov. In the white trunks, Chris Wade on his back in the black trunks.
Free your foot, good. Stay tight, tight, control. Good, keep him flat, keep him flat, keep him flat.
The box right there.
Knee up belly, mount, Ozzy, right to mount.
Wade's doing a really good job there, catching the leg, the left leg from Ozzy.
You agree with all these things? They're going to call him to go for the mount.
Lifting out now.
Get that knee in. Get that knee in.
Tell them at home, we can see it because he's playing right in front of us.
Get that knee in.
But you see with his left leg, he's trying to catch the left leg from Ozzy the whole time. He's not going to jump your mind. With a guy like that, you don't want to have fun.
Half guard. Half guard stand. Slide your knee. Go to mount. Go to mount.
I thought it was how much on it.
Hand control. Hand control. Hand control. Hand control.
Good defense here.
Wade's just in a scramble for his life right now as Ozzy continues to rain down some heavy hammer shots.
Wrist control. That's it.
Nice there, inside leg kick from Ozzy. Put him against back. That's demoralizing for Wade, you know? You get back up, you think, oh, I got there, boom, and suddenly you're down again.
Minute 45 to go here, round number 2.
Gotta work, Ozzy. You want to stay there, you gotta work.
Wade's looking in to show the top, what he can do. Gets still that half guard. He needs to do something with his left arm underneath the right arm of the body, like he's skating back over there. But it's easier said than done.
Wade looks now to be going into recovery mode. He's got head control of Ozzy Dugulubgov. Minute 15 to go in round 2.
Locking up the arm with the left knee. Of course, Wade recognizes this. Pulls that arm out right away. Tries to keep him in front of him the whole time.
Well, at this point, looks like Chris Wade just wants to play this form and see if he can get Dan Murguia to stand this thing back up.
This is smart from Wade. He did a great job here. Putting him in the guard, keep him close. Because again, you know, your strikes get trouble on the close distance.
Come on, guys, you gotta work. You gotta work.
No open guard like that. No open guard like that.
Already rolling. Yeah, that worked. Otherwise, you're going to get you back on the feet.
And here's the problem you're talking about. If he doesn't maintain that head control on Ozzy, you know he's going to raise up and just fire down.
Yep. With that, look at
There you go. Yeah. There he quickly clinches.
If I was Wade, I was just like, grab my own bicep, look it up. And
No
anaconda on him. He just wrapped him up for his last 16 seconds.
That's it. Koala.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2. Ozzy trying to end with a flurry, but it looks like we will see a third and final round in this catchweight bout.
Like that, bro. Nice and clean. Good job, guys.
Start setting punches up, strikes up, and big left hand, set it up with the right to the body. And Wade now got a shoot.
Hands out, let's go, gentlemen. Last round, you ready? Final round? Let's go, fight!
Wade looks in shape, and he's coming again right away. Both these guys look in shape. So it's a hard fight.
A third and final round, Boss Rutan, as we take a look at the unofficial scorecards. Dugulubgov in the white, Wade in the black trunks. How do you have this one so far?
You know, you have to go with Dugulubgov because he throws all the power strikes. He's very effective with it, but Wade I mean, is not impressed at all. He just comes forward.
I agree. I totally agree. I think if I would have been in that situation, I think I'd back off a little bit, stay away from him. But Wade continues to press forward. Now, the spinning back just did not go his way there. And I think he's sensing that I got to do something special here in round 3.
Yeah, but this is bad for him because we saw at the end of round 2, you know, that Dugulubgov is very good at controlling this position. He's a very strong individual, constantly on top, knees to the body. Very well done, you know, especially when your opponent's getting tired. You want to attack that body the whole time. And another one there, under the rib cage. Just underneath the armpit. Floating ribs. Very painful. He's constantly slipping. He doesn't want Wade to put him at least in half guard. But Wade is working. Got him in the guard now.
I'll tell you what, you talked about it in round number 1, the power and the energy that Ozzy Dugulubgov was exerting, but I'm impressed with his conditioning. He continues to come forward and press the pace.
It's pretty amazing because I didn't expect that. Those guys like this, they have fast twitch fibers, and they need a lot of oxygen, you know, and he just keeps on going. He should just brace himself out, cross the hook, there we go, escape, and maybe goes for a mount now. Yeah, there we go. Oh,
that's a nice job.
Nice time here by Wade. He recognized it, using that moment. Almost got it though. Even though that short distance, Ozzy's hitting hard. Looking for Kimura here. Wait, I think. Let me see. We can look that arm up.
Trying to lock up that right shoulder and arm of Ozzy Dugulubgov. Boy, now he's back in that side control where we're really able to do damage.
I mean, this is... It's a for Chris Wade, you know, just to pull through. That is unbelievable. But for Ozzy to, you know, let's face it, he's got less experience, but he is all over it. You can see that he rolls with top guys there at Hansel Gracie's Academy because his ground control is just phenomenal. Because Wade is a very good wrestler. You've seen that. He escaped crazy positions. He just doesn't let it go. And he knows he can't open up too much because at the moment he opens up too much, Wade is out. That's why we see this fight. Should throw him a little bit more elbows. That's what I would say. So see, he gave him a little space. Wade almost out there.
Fishing for something. Fishing for a heel.
Yeah, that's an act. There's nothing you can do with it. Hopefully we can hold it in, but we can't.
This is where the fight started, the first round and a half. It was all a striking battle, and Ozzy seemed to have the quicker hands and more power, but Wade continues to come forward.
Like I said, this guy has a lot of heart.
Yeah, he does.
And he knows moving forward is always better than moving backwards with a guy like Ozzy. Oh,
Ozzy with the shoot and the takedown, and Wade, look at this.
You see, and again, attempt. Oh, look at this. That would be something. No, he's got the defense. You see, Ozzy has
he's got the right angle.
Yeah. He's pulling the hand. He can't put the pressure on the neck.
Wade with the closed guard. Ozzy pops his head through.
Yeah.
So 45 seconds to go. Chris Wade, you got to take your hat off to him. He continues to fight, looking for something, but Ozzy just seems to have an answer for everything.
And that's the reason Ozzy's the whole time close on him. Because every little tiny space that he gives to Wade will escape. Or goes for a submission.
30 seconds, finish strong, Ozzy. Peel his hand off your head, Ozzy.
And Wade, Ozzy looks much bigger to me, like way more muscular, right? These guys are exactly the same weight. Look at this. Oh, strong punch there.
Final seconds tick away in this one. It will go to the judges. Will it be Chris Wade or Ozzy Dugulubgov?
Break. So break. Ozzy.
Nice, beautiful. Beautiful job here. Now look, right away he goes there for that guillotine. He just exposed his neck a little bit, but as you can see with the right hand there, you see Ozzy's already pulling the arm, the left arm of Wade, so he can't put the pressure on him. There's nothing he can do. He can simply lay there and just hold it and let Wade waste all his energy. But look here what he does. He throws over and now he sticks his head out a little bit too much. Wade goes around it right away. And you give him a little bit of space and he's there. This could have been easily a submission victory if Ozzy wouldn't have recognized that right away. Yeah, that's it. Hand control. It's all about that.
Chris Wade had a great bout early on, able to fight off the heavy shots coming from Ozzy Dugulubgov. State champion high school wrestler. Kid's got all kinds of skills, but tonight it looked like Ozzy may have done a little more damage.
He did. He did. You know, if I were him, I would really start developing my right hand, actually, because he's a southpaw. So he can set the punches up better.
Well, early on in this catchweight bout scheduled for 3, it was sensational action as both men make their debut here at the World Series of Fighting 2.
Look at that. Our first kick, that's so powerful. We can hear it there ringside. Back! All these punches, if they would have connected, you know, every time Wade was just outside of it. Good head movement. Look at that well-timed takedown. Club reversal goes for the guillotine. That was the end there. Round number
3. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds, we turn it over to the judges' scorecard. And all 3 judges, Billy, Sinclair, and Torelli, see them out the same way, 30-27, for your winner by unanimous decision,